All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Star Slammers, the complete collection by Walter Simonson. This is a book from the 80s that's been recollected in 2015, and it's around, let's say, 300, 285 to be precise, from IDW. And I got it for 50, and eBay prices are wild. I see some of them sold by $150. And it completes the whole story. Now, what I have here are a couple of the Star Slammers floppies. These to be precise. But this is not the complete story. This is the story that comes after the prologue, and I'm going to talk about the prologue a little bit here. And it's not really a review, it's more like what's happened before. Because the prologue is very thick, and I really cannot do it this way because, as you can see here, I have my stand here on top of all these boxes and this manga here, and it's still, because it's oversized, I still cannot get it in frame very well. And if I want to talk about the dialogue can be really in and out of focus because of the distance from the camera here. And in the book. Yeah, I need to get another setup. I know that. But, I'm a very low level kind of reviewer, right? And to be honest, I like that. It's my style. I'm not doing this very high res with, cameras in certain positions and backgrounds. It's not my thing for now. Anyway, so this is a gorgeous book, by the way. And since I'm a little bit, everybody's new to Star Slammers, I see. Signed. I didn't know, because I luckily got the floppies, but I didn't know that, there was a lot of things beforehand. So, and you can say, why do you have floppies when you have this complete collection? I want to talk about it, and I think this is cool. So what I want to talk about is the graphic novel, issue number 6. From Star Slammers that leads into Dark Horse Presents. We are not talking about that today. And then I'm doing the floppies 1, 2, 4 and the special, maybe the epilogue, but I'm not sure how that looks like, because to be honest, I have this book here for a very long time. Still haven't looked into it because one day I knew I would get the floppies. So without further ado, let's dive in. So the Star Slammers are basically mercenaries, but they are way, way, way more than that. So this is in another planet, or maybe in the future, or wherever. And these guys are, being attacked by a bunch of an enemy type called the Scrix. And the Star Slammers are basically saving the day, right? For a fee. And these are the ones. They're being invited by this monarch, I guess, and they are saying, hey, the Scrix are coming back in full force and we need to get rest. And then they are being contacted by this woman and says, hey, why don't you gonna work for the Scrix? Because when the Scrix are coming back, they are going back in full force and you'll probably die. So unless you change sides, right? And then we go to the Scrix, and they hope the Star Slammers will be, switching sides. But they also say, hey, we're going to kill them afterwards, right, because of the spoils. But the Slammers are coming down with the mothership of the Scrix, and they captured the whole bunch without being detected. And how is that possible? Well, they did that because everybody was stoned and nobody was looking for them, right? And so this woman, who is, basically the traitor escaping, comes back with the ship, wants to, release the hostages. And then the Slammer is using a slingshot to take out this woman. She's dead. And he also takes the spoils of war because this was part of the contract. The monarch here didn't like that and wanted the soldiers to say, hey, you got enough stuff in here to start your own war. And he says, yeah, that's right. He says, good luck and don't hurry back. All right. So we're getting introduced to the characters here. This is called Sphere. And we have Theon. Do I say that correctly? Ephon, sorry. And we have Jalila. And it seems that they are on the run. Well, they are awaiting an attack from the Orions. Now, the Orions is basically a planet or a group of people like humans, race that hunts people, um, like in the movie, right, with the woman that with the bow. I just forget the Hunger Games, and they need to prepare to when they attack. So they are collecting a mass of destructive weapons like tanks, ships, rockets, nuclear stuff to be prepared. They're going back to their homeworld. So doing some kind of a jump here. And then they are talking about that called the silver mines. Now, the silver mines, basically the translation, it's the force. It seems that star slammers have the potential to combine their own thoughts and then, become one for, fighting and then, becoming unstoppable. But there is not a lot of people that can do that. But there is potential, right? And it seems that Ethan is one of the guys that potentially can do that. So they are all trying to become, mind linked, and they are doing that, but it's still not enough. And that's what this is all about. It's about training, become one with each other, and still prepare to what's coming. So Ethan is basically training with this shaman, I guess. He's called the grandfather. The grandfather is mind linking with him, and then he's also seeing what happened in the past when he was a young boy, and his father and mother, along with his younger sister, is fleeing from these people that likes to, kill renegades, people that are lower than them. You know the gist, right? The undesirables. But the father is using this slingshot to, kill a lot of people, and then they are bringing the hovercraft or the ship back to the ground, and he's going in for the kill. He's partially succeeding, and he's been shot from behind. But the senator that is instigating all this is being crippled, and he says, I'm going to take my revenge on these savages. Well, the parents are dead, and only he and his sister survived. So the senator is, calling some kind of a meeting, and it's Galaris. Galaris is becoming, well, I'm going to show you a little bit later, but he's part of the story, and it seems that the senator is basically boasting that he survived the onslaught of these savages, and then we have to make a stand here, and I need your votes to do that, otherwise all these savages will be overrunning us. So he says, hey, are you voting for life or death? And and of course he's get the votes to kill them all. And this is a TV show, by the way. So Galarian, is it Galarian? Galarian needed, or the TV station needed to delete certain things from that hunt. Otherwise, the senator would be in a bad light because, they were defeated by a slingshot, right? Which is undesirable, unthinkable. Sorry for the bad resolution here and there. And he says, sling? So, Galarian becomes part of the resistance in training people that uses the sling. And there's a reason for that, right? But we're coming to that a little bit later. So that was part of this flashback. Meanwhile, they're being ambushed by the Orions because the faction, the other world that they came from, just tipped off their eyes because they were not happy that, the slammers take all their precious, stuff. And they've been thrown into the brick, and they are taking Ethan away for questioning, right? And it seems that the girl in question here, Jalila, has now some contact with Ethan. And he's being tortured. Very Star Wars-like, right? With Luke Skywalker and other people. And he's being questioned, and he says he's been tortured. So she's basically mind-linked to him using the silver mind. And Sphere also. And they are going to break out. And he says he's been questioned. He says, we are the descendants of the exiles. We are the Star Slammers. He says, we've been hunting your race for years. There was no fight in them. When it was necessary, the old and infirm used to go out to die at your hand. It gave you something to do and keep the rest of us hidden. Now we can't hide any longer. Now we're going to fight like hell. So, yeah. So this guy's being taken out by Sphere. And Jamila says that Ethan is dying. So he grabs this guy and throws him into the machine. He's dead. And also with his dying breath is that he says that he's going to use the bridge for good. And he says, I could mind bridge you while you're in your cell. I could bridge everybody. So he's dead. And then they are taking, putting him in this chair, like some kind of a last hooray. They go and teleporting out, and even with the ship is ramming into the enemy here, going out heroically, although he's already died, but he's become a martyr, right? Going back to the Orions, the senator is very happy that he is now able, or will be continuing to hunt the Star Slammers, because the network will love it. They're going back to the homeworld, and it seems that Ethan, why must I say Ethan? Damn it. I hate my life sometimes. My brain is so bad. Ethan. It's Ethan with an O, not with an A. Anyway, he's with his last dying breath, he contacted the whole world so everybody will know what happens and what's coming from them, right? And they have amassed this rockets and ships, for whatever is coming. So Sphere comes in and he talks with the grandfather. He talks what happened, and the grandfather says Ethan's death was just the beginning. It's getting a lot worse. So, and then we see what happened, that he's coming to this planet seeking young people to fight with. And he says, how do you know the signs and verities? He says, do I found the people that I need to find? And it seems that they're having some kind of a contest with the sling, and he passed the test. He says, I come with a warning for you all. The sky is falling, he says. And so they probe his mind to see if he's not betraying them. And the slingshot is called a power slammer, right? So he explains a little bit why he is coming to this world to aid these youngsters. But before they do that, he says, you need to become stronger. But that cost will also, if you're going to repel the invaders, you need to have money. So you will need to become Star Slammers. You need to become mercenaries, having money, funding, and all that stuff. And he talks about the mind link, right? The silver link. He says, your ability to mind bridge has given me an idea. What if the Star Slammers could bridge together? Not as individuals, but as one. All the random thought reminted into one tight beam of coordinated information. An entire race acting as one unit. It could remake history. Now, and then you thought, why is this guy betraying his own people? Well, it seems that his ancestor was one of those people that could, use the sling, right? That's the weapon of choice. He was warrior caste and stood at the Emperor's right hand. He was my ancestor. Slammers has been forgotten on Orion. I have not forgotten Ben. When he fell from favor, he stood on his own 2 feet and was exiled. When I heard Senator Skrellick's tale, I had to come to see who was wielding the slammer again, to find, as the lay of the slammer says, true men. I found them, the true men my people had long been ceased to be, and I helped them as best as I could. Now I can die in peace. But then the alarm sounds off, and it seems that the Orions has found the Star Slammers' homeworld. They go into the ships, and there is battle coming. The senator is, basically throwing down scumballs, I guess. Probably... how do you say, rockets. And then the Star Slammers are coming. They try to be linked together, but they cannot do that. So they attack and they are pretty successful. But then, the tide will turn. It looks fantastic, by the way. It seems that because of the chaos and the noise and, everything else around it, they're being attacked, people are dying, they are distracted, basically. They cannot think, they cannot hear, and they are panicking. More Orions are coming. I've been hit. The mine bridge is slipping. There is the main fleet. They're moving behind their interceptors. Mine bridge gone. And they're being killed left and right. Sphere, the silver mine's not starting. We aren't reaching it. Sphere says, we can't lose, not like this. The harder we try to bridge, the worse we fight. Did the old man notice what happened? Have we been set up all along? I don't believe it. You know him better than any of us, Sphere. He couldn't have been lying. So the battle goes poorly, and they're losing more and more and more people. So Jaila says that Ephon was on the brink of death, and then, when he was tortured, and then the mind link, the silver link was initiated. So she thinks, if I get hit, maybe if I'm on the brink of death, but I could survive, which is a big gamble, she could initiate the same thing as Ephon, right? And she's going, of course, and she does exactly, the opposite. And she says, I cannot hold on much longer. Why I don't feel the silver mines? Why isn't it happening? And then, salutations, mighty warriors. I wanted to take this opportunity to greet you all before the last of you is gone. I've been waiting for this moment for years, you dogs. I swore to return and deal what you did to me. Look upon me now and see the destruction written on my face. The hunter who obliterated the vaunted star slammers. But then Jaila says, Ephon, it's him, the one who slew your planet, the one who slew your parents. It's Kralik. And then with that thought, everyone knows that Kralik is the one that, is hunting. He's the one that's, he's basically the ultimate bad guy. He was the instigator, right? And then we wake up sighing and crying. We see everything. The mind link, the silver link, they're all connected now. And then when all else is failing, they become aware that they could, they could see everything. They could see and be linked, and they will turn the tide because they are linked. They are synchronizing, therefore also winning now because they are synchronized. They are not lost again. They are now together for the first time in their lives. And the senator says, what the hell happened? 1 minute we got them on cold, the next we lost our shirts. Get us down on the deck. We got enough scumballs left to wipe out the main base. So they're going down in, maybe a desperate attempt to, kill, the main base and everyone in it. So Jaila sees it, right? But then the Star Slammers come together again, launching an attack, and just in time, is he dead? Maybe. They just succeed to take out this ship and everyone in it, right? That one almost got away from us. But there aren't any survivors anywhere. So we consult together for the first time. The Orion Armada has been stopped here, but there's still a problem. A planet full of hunters who know where we live and what we can do. So basically, they are saying, hey, let's go to Orion's planet and defend ourselves and kill them all before they kill us. So they prepare, and Jaila's almost dead, but she's gonna survive. The silver mine was born out of Ephon's need. Your faith brought us back. A faith all of us can now share. The silver mine's going to be easier to reach next time, but we need you. We need you to help us keep the faith alive. But then grandfather is dead because he outlived his usefulness. And then Sphere is vowing that he keep the memory of grandfather and his ideals, high. Sphere, I know you will come back when you are finished. Just I know what you will have to come to tell me. I'm a warrior caste, Sphere. I need to know the true men. I found them. They became my children now. They will become adults by slaying their greatest enemy, my people. They will do this using the name and the weapon I have put in their hands. But I am still a hunter, and no man should be without his people. Be worthy of a great power in your hands, my children. Be well, my son. It was the last message that he left for, well, his children. So Sphere giving a speech about what happened and that the result is now coming from Orion and he needs to be ready. And he says, but rumor has it that the grandfather has departed from homeworld, abandoned as some say. The rumors are false. We have not been abandoned. The grandfather has gone because he's no longer needed. When we were children, he taught us to grow. As with his lessons, his work here was finished. He was departed to find other children who need him as we once did. And he has left behind his blessings. And now they are rising from the ashes, and they are abandoning their home world, and they're going to the planet of Orion to slay their captives, their oppressors, once and for all. They are not children anymore. They are now star slammers. And they say, Orion awaits. And that leads us to, well, the next issue, basically, well, this one, the fever dream. That's probably something that is in some kind of an intermezzo, I guess. Not sure, but it leads us to the floppies of the Star Slammers that I have, which is a little bit easier to review. So guys, stay with me, and I'm going to show you a lot of cool pages, some cool action scenes. Yeah, very cool action scenes. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this. It was a little bit difficult for me to talk about. Maybe this is a review, who knows? But this is basically the beginning of the Star Slammers storyline and quest for revenge, if you will. Great stuff, by the way. I cannot wait to dive into this lore a little bit more. So, yeah. I hope you have a great Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below, leave a like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you next time. Bye-bye.